Karnataka, the 8th largest state, is in the southwestern part of India. Out of the total area of 19.2 million hectares, about 65% is available for cultivation, and out of this, more than 60% is under rain-fed cultivation. This vast stretch of rain-fed tract, which extends from Bidar in the north to Chamarajanagar district in the south, is the most drought-prone area of the country, next only to Rajasthan. In this chronically drought-affected area, sustaining the productivity of land resources and livelihood opportunities is a huge challenge due to the extent of degradation witnessed and competing land uses. Among the various forms of degradation, soil erosion is rampant in black and red soils. The severity of sheet and rill erosion has removed most of the finer soil particles and nutrients from the soil, resulting in the exposure of rocks and hard lime substratum to the surface. This has led to the development of large tracts of degraded lands in black and red soil regions. The off-site impact of erosion is equally devastating and responsible for the widespread occurrence of inland salinity. The deposition of finer soil materials in low-lying areas and along the streams affects the normal flow of water and drainage, resulting in the formation of saline soils and barren lands in the arid rain-fed areas of the state. The factors responsible for the degradation of resources and constraints affecting crop yield are not uniform and varies significantly in a landscape. Since the land resources are not uniform, site-specific information pertaining to soil, water, land use, socio-economic condition, and other resources is a prerequisite for planning and execution of watershed, horticulture, agriculture, and other line departmental interventions at the farm level. Lack of such information is the main cause for the failure of most of the developmental programs designed and implemented with huge budget outlays. In this context, World Bank supported Karnataka Watershed Development Project 2, popularly known as SUJALA 3, is taken up to empower the watershed department in preparing science-based development plans through the generation of site-specific land resource database using remote sensing, GIS, field survey, and mapping techniques. Development of digital library and decision support system for advisory. Establishment of LRI portal, web and mobile applications for information dissemination. Development of tools, techniques and packages for hydrological monitoring and technology transfer. And strengthening the interventions of watershed, horticulture, agriculture and other line departments in rain-fed areas. SUJALA 3 project is implemented by Watershed Development Department from 2013 to 14 onwards in 11 districts of the state with 527.67 crore rupees through 5 different components. It is executed by a consortium of 14 state and national level institutions having domain expertise from different fields as required for the project. The National Bureau of Soil Survey and Land Use Planning leads the land resource inventory and the Indian Institute of Science on hydrology-related activities. Land resource inventory is the core of the project. The base map for LRI is prepared by superimposing the cadastral map on the satellite imagery of the watershed. After delineating major landforms like hills, ridges, uplands, midlands, lowlands and valleys on the base map, the watershed area is traversed by the LRI team to verify the landform units, select locations for transects from ridge to valley, and representative fields for profile study. During traverse, any change in slope, erosion, drainage, soil texture, salinity, cropping pattern, and land use details are identified and delineated on the map. The soil profiles from representative fields along the transect are excavated to a depth of 2 meters and characterized for their morphological and physical properties like soil color, texture, structure, gravel content, presence of mottles, roots, etc. from the surface to the bottom of the profile. This exercise is continued throughout the watershed area, and based on the profile study, similar soils occurring in the watershed are grouped as one soil series. The soils present in a watershed can vary from shallow to very deep, loamy to clayey, gravelly to non-gravelly, apart from variations in color and other properties. Soil samples are collected from representative pedons and grid points for laboratory characterization. The soil samples received from the fields are processed in the laboratory and analyzed for the content of sand, silt and clay, soil reaction, electrical conductivity, moisture retention, nutrient status, and other properties. Based on soil site characteristics, the land parcels having similar soil, site and land use characteristics are grouped as one management unit and soil map prepared by assigning separate colors for each unit. The soil unit is the most homogeneous one at the field level for taking up any interventions. The soil map shows the spatial distribution and extent of different management units occurring in a watershed area and forms the basis for designing interventions at the watershed level. Socio-economic survey with the help of standard proforma and tablets is carried out through household survey, personal contacts and group meetings to collect household details, income from different sources, cropping pattern followed, acceptance level of the schemes implemented in their fields and other basic information. The weather and climatic data is collected from the telemetric rain gauges and automatic weather stations established in the project districts. Soil moisture at different depths during the cropping season. Real-time monitoring of surface soil moisture through satellite sensors, runoff data for rainfall events, dynamics of groundwater recharge and depletion, crop growth parameters are collected from model watersheds established in the project area. From the LRI database and information collected from other sources, thematic maps on erosion, salinity, nutrient status, land capability and land suitability for different crops are generated with the help of dedicated GIS facilities established in LRI partner institutions. The spatial and non-spatial database generated from 2,531 micro-watersheds, covering an area of about 13 lakh hectares, is made available to the Watershed Development Department, Horticulture, Agriculture and other line departments, farmers and other stakeholders in the form of LRI reports, atlas, CDs, DVDs, guides, brochures, LRI cards, etc. for dissemination of LRI information to all stakeholders and for developing decision support systems. The above information is migrated to the digital library and portal, which is established under SUJALA 3 project. The development of decision support system is very crucial for providing advisories to the farmers and planners on real-time basis. 9 decision support systems have been developed by integrating multiple data layers from LRI and other sources. The DSS on soil and water conservation planning is developed by integrating soil, site, land use and rainfall characteristics with criteria for deciding the type of conservation structures. This helps to identify the type of conservation structures needed, their design and cost estimate for both arable and non-arable lands. DSS for nutrient management helps to identify the deficiency or sufficiency levels of nutrients present in each parcel of land, amount of nutrients required for the selected crop, combination of organic and inorganic fertilizers to be used with their cost, time of application and package of practices to be followed during the entire crop season. The farmer can get the required advisory through his mobile phone or from the nearest KVK or farmers' contact centers. The decision support system required for crop planning is developed by matching the LRI information with crop suitability criteria for different crops. The suitability assessment shows the degree of suitability or non-suitability of the resources for the selected crop. which enables the farmer and line departments to choose the best suited crop or combination of crops in a watershed along with constraints or limitations present, measures to overcome the same, and appropriate package of practices to be followed to get the maximum yield for the selected crop. The decision support system on check dam helps to decide the number of structures needed at different stream order levels in a watershed. This is based on the balance runoff available at each stream order after allowing the environmental flow and the amount retained by the existing and proposed conservation structures in the watershed area. This helps to decide not only the number of check dams required in a watershed but also prevents the indiscriminate construction of check dams as is being practiced at present. The quality of the detailed project report is critical for the success of any watershed program. Earlier interventions were more of general nature due to the non-availability of site-specific information. In this context, the preparation of DPR with the use of site-specific information and advisories from SUJALA 3 project is a game changer. As per SUJALA, the DPR is prepared by using the LRI information and advisories available from reports, Atlas, Digital Library, Portal and DSS. The DPR provides survey number-wise conservation plan, crop plan, nutrient management plan and other interventions required for the integrated development of soil, water and other resources at the watershed level. The DPR is implemented in selected watersheds on saturation mode as per the interventions suggested to cover the entire watershed area. This has helped to take up planned soil and water conservation measures like continuous trenching, contour bunding, graded and trench cum bunding, terracing, etc., farm ponds and check dams, choose and promote the best suited crop or combination of crops at the survey number level, address the site and crop-specific nutrient deficiencies with appropriate package of practices and other livelihood activities as recommended in the DPR and appropriate to the watershed area. The use of LRI outputs in watershed development has significantly reduced the time frame required for planning and implementation of watershed activities from 6 to 7 years earlier to about 3 years now under SUJALA project. Apart from this, the design of structures as per the requirement of the area has greatly reduced the overall cost of the interventions in the watershed area. Planning and implementation of the entire spectrum of horticultural activities ranging from crop production, crop demonstration, soil health improvement, irrigation scheduling, post-harvest management like grading and packaging, value addition and marketing based on the LRI outputs and advisories have brought in significant gains to the farmers in the project districts. More than the visible impacts of SUJALA project, its stellar role is reflected in the sphere of empowerment of farmers and other stakeholders at the grassroots level. This is expected to bring in a paradigm shift in not only changing the attitude of the farmers in the way they manage the resources at present, but also by planners and decision makers to move towards more science-based, iterative and informed decision-making level. The immediate and long-term implications of SUJALA 3 project for planning and implementation of land-based programs have been recognized by various line departments within the state and outside. Already, many states are adopting the tools and techniques developed under this project in their watershed programs. All this has brought in broader recognition at the national and international levels to SUJALA 3 project and Watershed Development Department, Government of Karnataka. The SUJALA family gratefully acknowledges the support of the World Bank team for promoting this project, which has brought in many innovations and disruptive technologies to the fore for the sustainable management of land resources in the country in the future.